All right, bring in Tom Tolbert, the Warriors analyst who joins us. Was that a great night last night, Tom?
Well, yeah, anytime you have a chance of going home, actually they already were home. Anytime you actually have a chance of being eliminated, yeah, I think any win's a great night. So was it a great game? Was it their best? Probably not, but a lot of that's due to the way the Thunder are playing. So great, I don't know. I guess great's a relative term, is it not?
Yeah, I was just wondering. I was more impressed with what Oklahoma City did last night than Golden State, and maybe because I expected Golden State to play better, I just didn't
Yeah.
know how good Oklahoma City would play. So I came away going, maybe it's a moral victory for Oklahoma City, even the way they were reacting after the game. You got the feeling that, hey, all right, we're going back home. We held our own here, and we feel pretty good about going back home for Game 6. I don't know if you read body language or not when you're calling the game, but that was the feeling I had watching it.
Well, I sure hope you're impressed with two more Oklahoma City losses. That'd be fantastic. No, but I know exactly what you mean. I said it last night after the game. I don't think there's anything that happened during that game that would dissuade the Thunder from thinking they're going to go home and beat the Warriors. Maybe not like they did in Games 3 and 4, but beat the Warriors at home. They did. They hung tough in that game. They didn't go away in that game. Every time you thought the Warriors were going to get it going and the crowd was amped up, they reeled them back in. So, no, I know what you're saying, and I agree that they're going to feel fully confident going into to Game 6, knowing that their last four games at home, they've played the two best teams during the regular season wire to wire, and they've won those games by 14-14 against San Antonio and 28-24 against the Warriors. So they're going to be full of confidence, and their crowd's going to be going bonkers.
What changed after Golden State took care of Oklahoma City during the regular season, but something changed with Oklahoma City, or did it change with Golden State during this series?
I think it was Oklahoma City. I mean, you look what they did to San Antonio. I mean, San Antonio had lost one game all year long at home, and they beat them twice on their home court. And as I mentioned, they beat them by 14 points at their place twice in a row. So they've been playing really, really good basketball. And I think in this series, they went to their small lineup. Their length gave the Warriors problems. They're really doing a good job defending the three-point line. But last night, two things. Bogut was available, and I forget the coach that said it, but it's a great quote. The greatest ability is availability, and he didn't get in foul trouble early on. He was able to play, and he was able to dominate the paint, and then Steph Curry decided, you know what, if they're going to play me tight at the three-point line, then I'm just going to have to get to the paint and finish. And he did as much of that as I've seen all year long, taking it to the paint, taking the layups that they are presented to him. And that's something they're going to have to keep doing because Oklahoma City is saying, we're not going to let you beat us from three. And if they're playing you that way, you can't just keep jacking threes in their face. You got to get to the paint.
We've also seen the columns, sports talk reacting to this, the blogs that all of a sudden Billy Donovan's out coaching Steph Curry. Steve Kerr. Steph Curry is not healthy. What's up with Draymond Green? And I said, we're looking for excuses other than Oklahoma City is actually playing better, and the matchups fit their system a little better than they did during the regular season. Can you point any blame at Golden State here with any validity that Steve Kerr's being outcoached, Steph Curry is not healthy, and what's wrong with Draymond Green? How valid are those concerns, criticisms?
Well, it's funny because whenever I hear someone say someone's being out-coached, I think automatically of a couple of things. One, I think dummy. Two, you probably never played before. And three, you probably don't have anything else to write, so you just go with the easy, he's being out-coached because it's a catch-all. Like, I don't blame coaches all that much. I don't give them as much credit as other people do either. I was a player. It's the guys on the court that have to get it done. They know what they need to do. And I always said, we're taking responsibility for us. The coaches will give us a game plan. We got to go out there and implement that game plan. And if it's not working, it's still up to us to go to the coach and say, look, this isn't working. We're going to try something else. I don't feel comfortable with this, whatever. And maybe I go too far that way. But look, they played better last night. Everyone wants to give Steve credit, and if you want to, go ahead, give him credit for playing a much bigger lineup. But because Bogut wasn't in foul trouble, he was able to play a bigger lineup. So it wasn't. I don't know that he just said, "I'm going to play a bigger lineup" just because. Maybe he wanted to do that in Oklahoma City and couldn't because Bogut was in foul trouble. So maybe it's because I was a player. I give most of the credit to the players. I give most of the blame to the players. And when people just say, "Well, he's being out-coached," and then you're like, "Well, how? Exactly how is he? Give me specifics on how this guy is being out-coached." Usually it sounds a little something like this. Because I can't say anything.
Is Steph Curry healthy? Or can that be used as an excuse?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Either you're on the court and you're playing, or you're not on the court. And I can't, when I'm critiquing any game, any athlete, I don't know what he is. I know one thing. He's on the court playing, or he's not on the court playing. That's it. I don't know if he's 94, 92, 71. Yeah, so I'm not even going to try to guess. Either you're going to get on the court and play, and I'm just going to critique you, good or bad, or you're not on the court, period. So I don't know. I don't. People always ask me how it affects, this and that. I said, I don't know. I can't tell you. So if he's on the court, I will critique him that way. I got a question for you, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I'm sure there's a couple questions. I'm sure you've received a number of emails from Fritz, who emailed me and asked me to come on the show, and I always enjoy doing show. But I'm just wondering, does he call you Bud, or am I special?
I don't know. Fritzy, do you call other guys Bud that you call Tom Tolbert Bud?
On occasion. I know Tom a long time back from when we worked together in L.A. on various ESPN shows, so I feel comfortable calling Tom one of my buds because that's a long time back.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes, Eden.
Come on now. We all know Todd is a notorious over personalizer. Remember when we met the people who we went to their bachelor party? The guy who had the suite right next to us, and he was like, "Oh man, we're so happy for you."
And he just met him.
We just met 10 seconds earlier. How could we possibly be on this close of a level?
I think it's called phony, but yeah, there's a phony enthusiasm probably attached to it, Tom.
Okay, so just a couple follow-ups. Should the B in Bud be capitalized?
Fritzy, if you and Tom Tolbert are such good friends, you remember where he went to college, right?
Why are you doing that to me?
Well, he's your bud.
I'm saying he's my bud in that we were colleagues for a number of years back in Hollywood when he was hosting shows on ESPN and ESPN2, and I was booking guests for his shows. I booked him as a guest many times out in Hollywood, but I don't know his whole resume, and hopefully he won't hold that against me.
Wow, I wasn't going to go that far. But I was going to say this.
Do you know his first name, Todd?
Tom.
Okay.
Look, I like it. Fritz is right. We go way, way back.
Now, Tom is his middle name, though. Todd. It's. I think Byron is your first name. Is that right, Tom?
That is incorrect. It's Tom Byron Tolbert, and don't forget the junior, or my dad will be after your ass in a heartbeat.
Okay, all right, junior. All right. Any other questions here for the staff here, Tom?
Before I let you go, last one. Is it okay? And once again, these are all just kind of hypotheticals. Is it okay that I'm 50 and someone that is wearing a jersey in his avatar is calling me Bud?
Is that Fritzy again doing that?
Oh, damn, he works for you. You should know what his avatar looks like. Now that's on you. Now I'm disappointed in you, Patrick.
I'll work on that. Is it an Elway jersey that he has on?
Some sort of Bronco.
Yeah.
It was a bad Bronco jersey.
Okay, I will leave you with this. If you could vote for Coach of the Year and you only had one vote and you had to make a decision, would you vote for Steve Kerr?
Yeah.
Or Luke Walton?
Steve, because maybe this isn't fair, but Steve laid the groundwork for this. The blueprint is his, and without that blueprint, and I love Luke, and I think Luke's going to have a really good career as a head coach. He's got a tough job ahead of him with the Lakers, but without that blueprint, I don't know that Luke goes 39-4 in the first 43 games of his coaching career. So if you wanted to say it's about this year, period. then it's a toss-up, I guess, but I can't separate the two. I can't separate the fact that Steve had the blueprint ready to go for these guys this year, and without that, I don't think the 39-4 is possible. So, but yeah, there's no question in my mind of it. Choosing one, it'd be Steve.
Yeah, I wish they would have given it to the entire coaching staff. I thought that would have been pretty cool. I know they have to give it to an individual, but I even said that to Steve, and he said, by giving it to him, they did give it to the entire coaching staff. Good luck.
Well, they could have to him, Dan. They could have. If he wanted to, he could have taken it to a solderer and just have him chop some solder back up. And if he wanted to, he could give little pieces to the coaching staff. I mean, that's now that you think of it, that's actually pretty selfish of him to keep that thing intact, keep it for himself. I mean, he should have chopped off Arbach's head, kept that for him, given the torso to Luke. And there's some other guys that were involved too. And, there's probably an intern in there that he could have given the park bench to. That's a good idea by you.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you. Thanks for joining us, bud.
You got it, Chief.
Thank you, Tom. That's Tom Tolbert, the Warriors analyst.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.